We've all heard of a petri dish, right? It's a round little dish that creates the perfect environment for bacteria to grow. The bottom of the dish is coated with the culture, which feeds the bacteria and gives it what it needs. Here, bacteria flourish and multiply, so scientists can study it. In a lot of ways, the world is like a petri dish for people, and the culture we grow in is made up of everything and everyone around us. Sometimes, actually too many times, bad bacteria take over. In our world, that manifests as violence, sexual assault, harassment, bullying, emotional abuse, and domestic violence. So how do we keep bad bacteria from growing in our petri dish? Most people would say antibiotics. But think about it. Antibiotics are reactionary. There must be a lot of bad bacteria and someone needs to get really sick before we even know antibiotics are needed. In other words, the way things are now, to stop bad bacteria, i.e. violence, it has to happen first, which is less than ideal to say the least. What if there was another way, a proactive way, a way to end violence before it starts? There is. Change the culture. When you use a bad bacteria-resistant culture in your petri dish, you encourage only good bacteria to flourish there. This translates into creating a culture where violence cannot grow. We do this by teaching empowerment self-defense, or ESD. ESD is a way of life where people protect and defend their bodies, speak up for themselves and others, accept their strength, and therefore stay safe, physically, mentally, and emotionally. When people practice ESD, they actively create a culture where boundaries are set and respected, consent is expected, and communication is civil. In this culture, there's no place for victim blaming, and no shame in sharing what has happened to you. Here, the community supports safe, healthy behavior. To create this violence-resistant culture, we need to change education on every level, from kindergarten through adulthood. We need to educate communities in schools, community centres, camps, youth groups, and businesses. The goal is a community where people can study, work, and live together without fear of abuse or harassment. In this culture, if something does happen, people can confidently deal with it, find adequate support, and heal. Throughout the world, there are organizations teaching and promoting empowerment self-defense. El Halev, an Israeli-based NGO, has been building safer communities since 2003. To date, El Halev has brought ESD skills and tools to over 120,000 women and children and has invested greatly in professionalizing the training of ESD instructors. PAVE Prevention Incorporated is a social enterprise which guides, trains, and advises companies and communities on how to be proactive in the face of violence. They help people prevent, react appropriately to, and heal from violent events, both physical and emotional. The Association of ESD Professionals is growing with the aim of making violence prevention programs accessible worldwide. To ensure safety and engender public trust, the association is working to standardize the practice of ESD through credentialing, continuing education, and the creation of ethical and procedural guidelines. Besides career and business resources, they seek to influence public policy and increase public funding through outreach and advocacy work. My Power Limited is a social tech startup. In partnership with El Halev, it is creating a mobile application that will deliver ESD into the hands of anyone who wants and needs it. The My Power app will make ESD available in an accessible, affordable, effective, and intuitive AI-based interactive multimedia format with customized versions for specific communities. El Halev, PAVE, the Association, My Power Limited, and all the organizations that make up the greater ESD movement are changing our culture. They're creating communities where people are ready to recognize, report, and respond to violence. Communities where violence is not tolerated, where violence cannot set down roots to fester and grow, because the safest communities grow in violence-resistant cultures.